channel. This is ICD Movie Reviews. My name is Briana, and today I'm going to review the latest horror film, Malignant. This movie is written and directed by James Wan, who directed the Conjuring movies, and this movie stars Annabelle Wallis. Madison, played by Annabelle Wallis, is paralyzed by shocking dreams of grisly murders as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities. Now, I was pumped for this movie because James Wan is doing a new film. I think James Wan, in my opinion, is a very fantastic horror director. He knows how to scare people, and he knows how to make a horror movie look fantastic. Take the first two Conjuring movies, for example. I love those two movies for those two reasons. And obviously his other horror films like the first Saw movie, Insidious movies, even Dead Silence I find very underrated, and even his other genre films like Furious 7 and Aquaman. James Wan is a very creative in-camera director. So obviously I'm excited for Malignant, especially that James Wan is basically coming back to do a horror film again, which his horror films obviously are the most iconic out of these directed films. So of course I was excited for Malignant. The trailers look really creepy. That's exactly what I wanted. So I was very excited for this movie, and thank God this movie came on HBO Max so I can see this movie, because we're still in freaking lockdown right now. And I'm missing out on so many movies like Shang-Chi and Free Guy. I am so disappointed right now. Hopefully I don't miss out West Side Story and No Way Home. Please don't, at least. Now, what do I think of this movie? Is this movie the best film by James Wan? No. But I'm going to say this. This film is crazy, creative, and unique in the best way possible. The acting all around this movie is good, especially coming from Annabelle Wallis. I'm not a huge fan of this actress. It's not her fault. She's just been in some terrible movies like the first Annabelle movie, The Mummy. Thank God we're seeing her in a great movie. She is fantastic in this film as the main character, Madison. You really root for her in this film. You really feel for her when she discovers these visions. You really root for this character, and Annabelle Wallis does a really great performance in the film. We follow her along in the film, and we like the character in the film because the character goes through so many shit in this film, they literally feel sympathy for her. But I think what stood out for Malignant, in my personal opinion, is the cinematography. This movie looks incredible, especially behind camera. There's a lot of great shots in this film, and that's no surprise because James Wan knows how to work on camera. He knows how to make a horror film look great. This movie makes no difference there in a good way. The movie looks fantastic. I love the camera work in this movie. There's actually this really cool camera shot where you see Annabelle Wallis walking around the house, and it's gone from basically the top perspective where you see her head, basically, her top of her head, and it's following her like a drone. I really like that shot. It's probably one of my favorite shots of the year, and this movie has much more creative shots that you should check out, especially if you like horror films. This film will scare you just because of the cinematography alone. And the look of the movie looks great. Like the color schemes, it looks very dark. It looks very James Wan. The thing I wanted to see. Was this film terrifying? Absolutely. This film, there are moments in this film where I have to cover my eyes. Like, I am a bit of a pussy when it comes to horror films sometimes, especially for these type of films. Because James Wan knows how to scare people and knows how to direct jump scares. It's not like, oh, it's the obvious jump scare where someone looks there, looks back, bang, jump scare. James Wan does the scares in this movie really, really creative. And obviously, this movie makes no difference with his other films. James Wan knows what he's doing with these types of films. But the best thing about this movie is that this film is different. It's original, it's unique, and creative. The plot of this movie is definitely original. I like the plot of this film. It's something, yeah, we can't see plots like this before, but not in the way this film was presented. I think there are a lot of things in this movie that luckily the marketing didn't explain. Like, this movie is not like the marketing. This film is much more different than the marketing, and that's what I like about the film. This film surprised me with its different aspects, which obviously I am not going to spoil. But this film does have flaws. It's not the best James Wan film. I would say it's his most creative, but it does have some problems. First off, this movie really doesn't know what it wants to be at times. This film has a lot of different genres. Like, it has horror for the most part, but there are some scenes that are like an action film or a crime film or a drama, and this movie kind of messes that up a bit. Like, there are moments in this film where I'm like, okay, the film literally changed from there, especially when it comes to the first 20 minutes of the film. The first 20 minutes of the film, without spoiling it, just felt like a normal James Wan horror film. And it took a little while for the story to get going. It took a little while to get the plot going with the visions. The first 20 minutes just felt like a normal James Wan horror thriller. And especially that the film changes after that first 20 minutes where I'm like, okay, this film suddenly changes, and why the first 20 minutes is there in the first place? I guess setting up what's going on, but it has nothing to do with the story. It just needs something to basically open the film up. And it really took its time, and like, that's when the film started, when it goes to 30 minutes, I would say. When the film actually goes creative and crazy. But like the first 20 minutes of the film does get a little bit messy where it comes to what type of film it's trying to be or what it wants to be. But overall guys, Malignant is definitely another good James Wan horror film. This film is definitely one of his most original, one of his most creative, and crazy at the exact same time. There are a lot of messed up shit happening in this film. Obviously I'm not going to spoil it. I really enjoyed this film. The performances for the most part are fantastic. Love the look of this film. I wish this movie could have been better, especially when the genre changes a couple of times in the film. But overall, I did enjoy Malignant, and I'm going to give Malignant a B. So guys, that is my review for James Wan's new horror film, Malignant. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate the film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. And what is your favourite James Wan film? Let me know that also in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. Keep contacting with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest movie reviews and other movie-related content, and have a nice day.